Jason Stewart here with Syaariq Lachica,
Yes, sir.
fighting out of Aztec boxing. He was talking about how growing up in Singapore with that name, he was like, how's anybody ever going to pronounce my name? Tell us a little bit about your background, where you grew up and how you ended up here.
So I was born in Singapore, but I was there for 4 years, and my stepdad, pretty much raised me my whole life. Came in my life, me and my mom's life, and raised me, had 2 kids with my mom, and married my mom. And him being in the military, me being a military brat, we ended up leaving at like 4 or 3, coming to Washington, moving to Memphis, and moving to San Diego. And then I came back to Memphis for a year, came right back to San Diego.
Yeah.
And it just was like, this is it. And then from there, it just.
So why'd you go back to Memphis?
So originally that was like the 3rd stop.
Right.
And then I came here, and then I went to juvenile hall, came right back, and then it would start over. And my dad, not only that I was in trouble, but like my mom was living in Memphis, and my dad took me and my brother, and we would stay in San Diego, and he would like station off, and we would live with my uncle. And then he was like, just go back to Memphis. And you know what I'm saying? And then that 1 year when I went back and seen all my friends, oh yeah, we gotta go back.
Why is that? What happened when you saw your friends?
Because people in the South, Memphis, they grow up quick. So I still have all of them on Facebook, like they all either in jail or pregnant, and they grown at that age, because I was growing slow.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, what's up with y'all? And then they hated that I was from San Diego, because if you're from Memphis and you're growing up in Memphis, you can't really leave. So I was lucky to leave.
Yeah.
And then they was like, oh, you from San Diego?
I can relate to that where I grew up. I grew up in Charleston, West Virginia. And it's like most people never make it 50 miles from where they're born. They're like, they die never going outside of that radius.
Yeah. So I'm just, I'm just trying to put on. I'm not shady. If I go up, y'all go up. And I have some friends that help me, because Memphis is similar to Chicago. So anytime anyone's like, what's Memphis? It's just like Chicago, Detroit. And I came to San Diego, I'm thinking like, when I came to San Diego, it was like High School Musical. So I'm like, that's exactly how you're like High School Musical, and you got, that little Chicago scene. So then all my friends, I still talk to them because it's humbling. I'm like, man, I was fighting in the bathroom. I learned how to play crabs. I'm like, damn, learning about the whole gang culture. I'm like, and I'm growing up slow. Them growing up quick.
Yeah.
And then they not liking that I left, and came like, why do you come right back, bro? I'm like, bro, I don't know my situation, but like, I'm telling them, and then it is like, we don't care.
So that was interesting, because you grew up with your father's from Guam, your mother's Spanish?
She's from Singapore. She's Singaporean.
Oh, she's from Singapore.
Yeah, but
okay.
She's mixing melting pot. She's Filipino and Indonesian.
Okay.
So I'm Filipino, Indonesian, and Black, and then my brother and sister are Chamorro and Filipino.
So what got you into fighting?
Oh, I was really a basketball player, but then for somehow love fighting. And how I found out about fighting was like, I was young, living in Memphis with my brother, and we turned on the Spike TV, and it was like Forrest Griffin on them, and I'm 12.
Yeah.
So then I'm just like, whoa, what is that? What are they doing? My brother's playing video games, and we always fighting for the TV. Like, I don't want the TV. He don't want the TV. And when it's my turn, I'm watching Spike TV, watching The Ultimate Fighter. Then at the time, I'm like looking at I try to YouTube, I'm like, oh, UFC. I'm like, this is what it is. And I'm studying it. By the same time, I'm playing basketball. And I want to get into fighting, but nobody put me in no boxing gym. So then when it came to it, I was playing basketball, my wrestling coach was like, you trying to wrestle? And nobody was going to put me in boxing gym at that age. I was like, you know what, I'm going to do this. And then I was not with it. And then I'm in it. I'm like, all right.
You said you didn't want to wrestle because of the singlet.
Singlet. I didn't want to. But then it grew on me, because I seen how they was like flexing it. I'm like, all right. And I'm a skinny kid, but then I was like, skinny kid. I'm like, all right. And when I wrestled, I was wrestling at Poway.
Oh.
In Meadowbrook at that. I was young, and I'm seeing.
But you wrestled for Poway?
No. That was more I got my camps from. I was 12 years old, from 6th, 7th, 8th. When I was wrestling, I would go to the wrestling camps, and then that's when I'm like, okay, these guys are good. And I'm seeing the names. I still know them names.
Yeah, those Poway is iconic for wrestling. Best in the world.
I didn't know that. So then when I'm seeing them grab their crotch, making weight, I'm like, we 12 years old. I'm like, what the heck? And like, I had athleticism, but I didn't have the IQ. They really do that. So then I'm holding on because of my athleticism, me being a basketball player, just not being soft. I'm just like, okay.
And who told you that basketball was soft?
My dad. I hated that, because I'm a basketball.
You love basketball.
I love basketball, but it's true though. It's true. So I'm like, okay, 90% of them are soft. You see people making when they're like, LeBron James. Okay. So I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
So that's kind of how I knew. I was like, damn, I kind of like fighting.
So there, we used to have a shirt at my high school that said, "Women play volleyball, boys play basketball, men wrestle."
That's true. That's true. And I love that grind now. Like I used to hate it, but then it's like, dang, like now all those neck rolls, I'm like, bro, as a kid, like that's just discipline. Like now I do it just to get in head because it's like us older, like you're in your 20s and like, you don't want to do that anymore. Than me, like I'm gonna do it because you don't want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I see Mike Tyson, I'm like, that's normal in wrestling. He's doing all these neck rolls, I'm like, that's normal in wrestling. So I'm being boxing, I'm like, what's so special about that?
Yeah.
Like, okay. But that's not, the boxers are not in that realm. So
you did end up getting into boxing though. You got 8 boxing matches. You got how many MMA?
3. 2 on 1.
Yeah. So 3 MMA, 8 boxing. So you're getting these skills, putting it together.
Yeah.
Now you're about to get in the epic fighting cage. What have you been working on, or what type of realizations have you had?
So I'm a natural boxer, but like I started as a wrestler, so like I have my foundation of the instincts. But jiu-jitsu is like, you know, it's puzzle. So I'm better in no-gi than I am in gi, and gi is always slowing me down. I'm learning. I'm like, because I did catch on quick. I'm like, and I'm like, no, there's no way. And then I'm learning the whole, like some people just jumped into it, no gi, no sambo, no judo, and I'm here breakdancing, wrestling, and like all these instincts coming in, and I'm like, that was simple. Like
you were saying that your biggest mistake in the past was not being honest with yourself, and now you're real honest. What does that mean?
Because I love basketball, but the thing is, like, you got to go to school. And I'm just like, I'm skipping, I'm getting C's. And honestly, my teacher in high school was like giving me C's. He's my football coach. And he's like, we'll go to class. And he's like, hey, you really should come here and watch film, and we go play. But I was not in school. He was just honestly passing me.
Yeah.
He was my football coach and my teacher passing me with C's. And then I was doing it, but not like that.
Right.
So like basketball, like I really love him. Like if you want to go to school, you got to be a student athlete. And I'm just like beating around the bush. And then around like 2018, when I was done with junior college, and I was like, I had like a little day. I'm like, man, I've been lying to myself. I do love it, but like I can't lie to myself. And then it translated into fighting because like if somebody's faster than you, you know what, and you say you're faster than them, you're gonna pay that price. If somebody's stronger than you and you saying you're stronger than yourself, stronger than him, you're gonna pay for that. So then I realized, like, just be honest. It's not like everybody's perfect all around the board, you know, powerful, you know, speed.
You learn how to put your strengths up against their weaknesses.
Yeah, and they want to do the same thing. So it's like, okay, it's like, you know, so that's what I learned, was just being honest with yourself. And then you can save less time too within your journey. So I'm like, okay, cool. That's not me. Just be honest. And
I love that.
Yeah, and that's how and when I see people in the gym, I'm like, oh, you lying to somebody. I ain't worried about you. I'm not worried about none of you. But that all off the word of just honesty.
I want to give a shout out to your team.
San Diego Azteca Boxing Gym, man.
He trains with Robert Cota, Adrian Melendrez. Yeah. So Robert Cota came and destroyed a lot of people in the Epic Cage. I want him back. I think he should do another couple more in the Epic Cage.
Yeah. We want to get that money, you know what I'm saying? You want to do his thing.
He's trying to go to
Daniel Reyes, he's right. He became his partner.
Oh, Reyes.
Daniel Reyes is right there. I seen his first boxing match. I'm like, wait. He was losing. He was nervous, and he came out of nowhere. TKO. I'm like, oh, yeah. I'm like, okay. I was like, my
so you're training with some experienced people, some real quality people over there at Azteca. So come check him out at Epic Fighting. He's going to be on the next fight card. If you don't have your tickets yet, go to epicfighting.com. I can't wait to see you in the cage, brother.
Thank you.
Let's do it.